Welcome back to episode 41 of Talk and Dribble NBA Finals Edition. We are 2 games into the NBA Finals with an absolute blockbuster in Game 1 with another historic comeback by the Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton hitting another game winner to make that 4 game winners, 1 in each series so far. We've got a good finals ahead of us, I reckon. What do you think?
Yeah, how are we doing it? How is Halliburton still just defying the odds?
It's crazy. He had a terrible Game 1. Yeah. And then somehow hits the game winner towards the end. Doesn't touch the rock for the last 3 minutes. Then finds himself with the ball with his hands, 10 seconds left, hits a shot with 0.3 seconds remaining. They lead for 0.3 seconds that game.
It's
just
crazy.
How does that make sense?
That game just sums up the Pacers' run so far.
Yeah.
No one knows how they're here. It really is like if Thunder win, they could be the next potential dynasty. Yep. Like they could be, everyone's comparing them to the 2014-15 Warriors. Mm-hmm. This young core they've got who none of them are probably at their peak yet. Or Indiana will be the craziest championship run we'd probably seen to date. Like no one had them probably getting past the second round at least. Yeah. Now they've pinched a game off OKC, the championship favourites, away. And now they're going into Indiana. The next 2 games with Indiana, they got home court now, which is just bizarre.
It's pretty insane to think, and it's concerning for OKC when you see that the Pacers don't need to play well to find a way to scrap out of it and get themselves a win. They were terrible all game. Could not get anything going. Halliburton was terrible. Siakam was pushing it. Everyone had a bad game. And then they find ways to scrap wins together. It's pretty insane to think about.
Well, the fact is, the best player, well, at least the highest scoring player for Indiana right now is Pascal Siakam with 17 points across the first 2 games. And they've somehow pinched a game off OKC.
Yep.
Like, Shea's averaging 36, 5, and 5 with 3.5 steals and half a block. And then Pascal Siakam's averaging, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Yep. And then you got Tyrese, 15, 6, and 6. Yep. But on an individual level, no one from the Pacers is actually playing outstanding. Yep. The OKC defense is doing what we expected it to do, but for whatever reason, they didn't finish off Game 1.
I think fair to say, watching the game so far, they're shutting down Halliburton. They're taking away what he does best. They're taking away his playmaking and they're taking away his scoring. He does look hesitant quite a bit when he's coming off screens and stuff against this defense. So they're doing everything right. I do think Shea had a much better Game 2 than Game 1, even though he dropped 35 Game 1. But he was pushing the load quite a bit, took 29 shots to get there. Yep. I thought he had a much more efficient Game 2, was getting to his spots, wasn't pushing the load, was looking to find players as well. He ended up with about 7 or 8 assists as well. So I thought he had a much smoother and cleaner Game 2, and I think that was a big difference maker for him.
Yeah, for sure. He didn't chuck up the 30 shots. Yeah, exactly. And it was way more efficient.
He had 11 shot attempts in the first quarter in Game 1.
Yeah, it was very Shea dependent, even though it worked for the majority of the game, but for whatever reason, Pacers just closed it out
100%.
Like they do. Yep. But even though I was saying, Pacers, no one's killing it, but they've got 8 players in averaging double digits. Yep. They've got Siakam, Halliburton, Turner, Nembhard, Naismith, McConnell, Toppin, and then Mathurin averaging 9.5. Yep. So they've got even contribution for sure. Whereas OKC have, I think, 5 players averaging double digits. Yep. But Chet Holmgren isn't quite.
He's still underperforming to an extent. He had a good start to Game 2, then went quiet a bit as well. But they've changed their rotation quite a bit. Obviously, Hartenstein was starting the entire playoffs. And then Game 1, they flipped the whole script, put Cason Wallace in the starting lineup, take Hartenstein out, which seems to be doing the job because I think they don't like the double big lineup with Siakam and Turner in there, even though it started to look pretty effective in the during Game 2, which I did like. But
the fact is that you probably had to make some kind of move like that. Just because the pace of Indiana, they're so fast. Halliburton and Holmgren, having both of them, you can have both of them in spurts, but for large parts of the game, they're just going to run Thunder off their feet. So Cason Wallace is actually a lengthy guard, and he can guard one through to 3. So the switchability is there when you've got Cason Wallace in the starting 5.
Oh, 100%. But I think we've got a good series on our hands. I'm looking forward to it. The one thing I don't like, though, and there's been a lot of social media talk about it, is just the look of the NBA Finals right now. You turn the TV on, would you actually think the NBA Finals are on? Looking at the way the court's set up, looking at the scoreboard, looking just at the atmosphere of how it's all built up. Do you reckon, it doesn't give you that finals feel that we've seen for so many years that we saw during that whole LeBron Curry run where it just felt like we're watching the NBA Finals? We're not getting that right now.
No, we really aren't. It's remember LeBron, Heat, the Spurs, Warriors versus Cavs. Yep. It all the finals had this aura to it.
Yep.
And right now it definitely doesn't have that. And I guess it is a part of it where it's small market teams don't quite give it that. I remember we kind of got that again when it was Steph versus the Celtics.
Yep.
But I think the teams actually in the finals do play a role in that. Like if Steph Curry's in the finals, it's obviously a better show, better entertainment than Tyrese Halliburton. But the fact is, this is what we've got.
Well, it just feels like the NBA is not using what they can. Like I think you see what the Super Bowl does and stuff. They make it such a show. Yeah. It's something that just draws you in. They have the national anthem playing before the game. They have the player intros. We're not getting any of that. And then plus, we've all missed the Larry O'Brien trophy being in the middle of the court. The cursive writing of the playoffs or the finals on the court, which we love. They half-assed it yesterday by putting the Larry O'Brien trophies on the court. On just on the 45s, and it's actually not on there. Yeah. It's just a little digital thing they're chucking on. There's someone waving their flag and you're seeing it cut through the trophies, and then they change it mid-game and just add it saying finals there. I know.
They definitely they're obviously listening to the fans, and they want to, you know, I guess, appease to the fans, but then they're not doing it in the right way. Like it doesn't feel like it's the finals.
You're a multi-billion-dollar organization, association. Like you've got all the money in the world to make this happen. It's small adjustments that can literally change the whole landscape of the finals. Yeah. Just in terms of people tuning in and not tuning in. People want to be watching it, feeling like they're watching the NBA finals and watching like the end of the NBA season. So
there definitely is I think we're going to look at the ratings after this and see it's probably going to be one of the lowest rated finals probably to date. And that's not just because of those things. Like I think it's just the fact that it is two small market teams. Neither of them have much history of success. Like Halliburton and Shea are both two relatively new superstars. Yep. So this is going to lay the foundations and the groundwork for years to come, where hopefully the ratings will get bigger and because these teams have had some kind of success early in their career. But yeah, right now, I think the NBA, they're in that kind of transition period between you got your LeBrons, your Kawhis, Currys, KDs, all these elite players who have been so successful and been in the finals every year, and now it's just the new generation.
100%.
We saw in the conference finals, it was Brunson, Ant, Halliburton, and Shea.
100%.
One of those blokes. Yeah, we knew it was going to be a relatively new kind of look in the finals. It's just now the fans need to catch up and actually start watching these teams.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, because it's high quality basketball being played, but it's just obviously it's something new which people don't like that much. That's right. The NBA's got a lot of fixing to do. Talking about mistakes I want you to do something here for me.
Right.
I want you to blind rank the top 5 NBA draft what-ifs of all time.
Okay.
What do you think it is? So I'm going to list a few, and you have to label them 1 to 5 without knowing what's coming next.
Okay.
All right? So to start us off, Darko Milicic getting taken over Carmelo Anthony in the 2003 NBA draft.
Oh, it was definitely the right call. Pistons won the championship that year.
Just think what could have been if the Pistons had Melo that whole time, this long wing. They can shoot the lights out with that championship-driven squad.
Would that have changed that championship-driven squad, though? They were such a defensive-centric team. Yeah, and Melo could have changed that. He could have disrupted that.
They did it without having Milicic playing minutes. You're talking about.
Obviously they would have been better. So we're doing 5.
Yep. So where do you want to put that?
I'll put that at 3.
At 3?
Wait, where was Milicic drafted? Was he picked 2?
He was picked 2. So he was picked 2. Melo was picked 3. D Wade was picked 4.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of like a
and then
D
Boss
Wade
was at 5.
So that's massive.
Yeah.
Probably put that at 2 then, because that's picking this bloke who was just a complete bust over 2 Hall of Famers. Is Bosch a Hall of Famer?
Bosch could be a Hall of Famer. He's a 2-time champion.
Yeah, okay. Probably.
He could be.
So you're picking Darko Milicic over 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it's not great.
Chuck that at 2.
All right. This one pains me. The T-Wolves drafting Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn in the same draft class over Steph Curry.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah. So we take 2 point guards.
You took
over Steph
2
Curry.
point guards over potentially the best point guard of all time. Yeah. Damn, that is so
what could
bad.
It be?
I don't know what else is going to come. I'm trying to think. I think I'll put that at 3.
At 3?
It could easily be 1, honestly. Yep. That was so bad. You had 2 chances to pick.
Yeah.
Obviously, Curry had injuries coming out of college, but Johnny Flynn, he played for the Melbourne Tigers. And Ricky Rubio.
Prospect.
Ricky Rubio. Bro, I remember we saw Johnny Flynn, and I was we were younger, and I remember thinking that guy was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was so bad.
Young little Benny just roasting Johnny Flynn. And then Ricky Rubio just retired from all forms of basketball. So, look, nothing against Ricky. He's been great for the T-Wolves. He was great player, but when you compare him to Steph.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got them at 3?
I got them at 3.
Okay. Greg Oden getting taken by the number 1 pick by Portland over Kevin Durant at pick 2.
It sucks. Greg Oden could have been better than these blokes we've said. He
Mhm.
just could not stay healthy.
Yep.
I don't think that's worse than what, like the Timberwolves had 2 cracks at it.
Yeah.
Greg Oden, he was one of the best players coming out of
Oh, 100%. But as a what if, it's like, what could that have changed for the Portland
KD
Trailblazers?
going to Portland.
Probably still would have left him and gone to the Warriors.
I
But what do you
think
reckon?
I'll put that at 4.
At 4?
4.
All
I
right.
still think the Steph one's worse.
All right. Sam Bowie being taken number 2 over the potential GOAT, number 2 GOAT, in Michael Jordan.
It's pretty hard not to put that at 1.
Yeah.
Like Sam Bowie, bro, what did he do? Like where did he go?
That's another Portland classic.
Michael Jordan, like
Jeez.
MJ was notoriously rated. It was
Yep.
just, it wasn't like because it was Hakeem at 1.
Yep.
And then Bowie, he was like a 4 or a 5.
So,
What was
yeah,
Bowie?
he was like a 4-5. He was a long 4.
And it was a
yeah.
big man league back then.
Yeah.
So people didn't think guards could do what they do these days. And
Mhm.
Jordan did change the landscape of that, obviously.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you picked a bust over potentially the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm putting that at 1.
Putting that at 1. So
Yeah.
you got the 5 spot remaining.
5 spot remaining. I don't know
for this
what it
last
is.
one. I think you've done all right. Well, I don't know. The Charlotte Hornets drafting and trading Kobe Bryant on the same night to the Los Angeles Lakers.
That's terrible. That was for, who was that for? Was that for
can't-
Vlad? No, that wasn't Vladi.
Nah, I actually can't remember.
I can't remember. But that is, you literally had one of the greatest players
Mm-hmm.
in your grasps and you just traded him
Gave
away.
up on him. And he was young. He was coming straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school compared to Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Obviously had his growing pains in his rookie season,
Yep.
but at the end of the day, he was a part of what?
It's one of the best players
2
of all time.
dynasties,
Yep.
5 chips, one of
And
the best.
The Hornets have been poverty for the rest of time since then, and
Yeah,
they'll probably will be
literally.
for a long time
That could
after.
have changed the landscape of their whole
Yeah.
franchise.
And they just somehow give the Lakers another generational talent.
Bloody hell.
So there we go. So what'd you have?
God, I don't know. What's that?
Yeah, so Milicic and Mello, was that at 3?
Wait, let's go from 1 to 5.
Okay, 1 to 5.
So Bowie over Jordan,
Yep.
and then Milicic over Carmelo Anthony, D Wade, and
Yep.
Bosh. Curry being overlooked twice by the Timberwolves.
Yep.
4 was Greg Oden over KD.
Yep.
And then 5. Yeah.
5, Kobe getting traded by the Charlotte Hornets.
That was probably
On draft
worse.
night.
If I could change it, I'd probably put KD and Greg Oden
Yep.
at 5, and then Kobe at 4.
I like it. Damn. Would have just changed the whole landscape of so many franchises right
Crazy.
there.
Crazy. But you
Rip
just
to the
don't know,
Portland
do you?
Trailblazers.
You just don't know. Like,
No.
who would have thought Halliburton would be as good as he was?
100%.
Like, Knicks could have drafted him
Yeah.
and picked Obi Toppin instead. Now they're actually playing on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody Wizards called Halliburton and said, "We're going to draft you," and then drafted Denny Advia.
Yeah. Bloody the Kings offered Philly Tyrese Halliburton for Ben Simmons back in the day, and the Sixers declined that. Imagine doing that. Ben Simmons, what a gun though. He's playing good basketball. But speaking about Tyrese Halliburton,
Yeah.
with the NBA Finals, we are going to build the best starting 5 using only players from the 2025 NBA Finals.
Yeah, we
All
did
right.
something similar last week, but that was with
100%.
all-time players.
All time. So now
And
we're
we
gonna do-
ranked them from 10 to 1.
100%. Now we're going to do the starting lineup of
Okay.
them. Okay. So we'll do rock, paper, scissors, and we'll do a serpentine draft. So whoever gets 1, the next person gets 2 picks.
Yep.
All right. So here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Goddamn.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Hell yeah. All right. So I've got the first pick. So I'm going to be taking SGA straight away, the best player in the
Are
finals.
you sure
by
you
far.
want to do that,
Yeah, I think
though?
I'm pretty confident in taking SGA.
Free throw merchant. Okay.
Give me Shea, bro.
So you got Shea. Okay, I gotta take Halliburton.
Mhm.
Gotta take him and then I think I'll go Jalen Williams. All NBA
Jalen
player.
Williams. Yeah, right. Yep.
So I've got him. I'll have him at my 3 or my 4. I don't
Alright.
know. But I'm going Jalen Williams.
All right. I like it. Well, I'm going to take Pascal Siakam then. Pascal Siakam at my 4.
Okay. I'm gonna take the main man, Chet Holmgren.
All right.
I'm taking Chet. He is gonna be a beast.
All
So
right.
Haley, Jalen, and Chet.
Okay.
for sure.
Don't mind it. Give me at my 5 Miles Turner. All right.
Yeah, that's a good
There we
pick.
go.
That's
So
a good- that's a
SGA
good pick.
Pascal
That's a good
Turner.
pick. Okay, so where do I go? Ooh, this is tough. This is really tough. I could go Hardenstein, Dort, Nemhard. I think I'm going to go. Now, I'm going to go Andrew Nemhard.
Yeah,
he is that good. Clutch, both ends. Like, I have him better. He's better offensively than Lou Dort.
Yep.
So I'm going to go Andrew Nemhard.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to take with my fourth is Lou Dort. Because he's just going to clamp up Hallie and Nemhard. They ain't getting a shot up. Right. They give me Lou Dort, baby.
He's going to clamp up both of them.
Yeah. Well, I've got SGA as well, bro.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I got Jalen Williams and Chet.
Cool.
Okay. So I've got one more pick to go. Do I go big? I think I might go big. Ooh, yeah, I might go big. So I'm going to have Jalen Williams at my 3.
Yep.
Chet at my 4. I'm going to go Isaiah Hartenstein at my 5.
Damn, all right. So you basically just,
I am the 3, 4, and 5 of the OKC, and then the backcourt of Hallie and Nemhard.
I like it. Okay. So I've got complete this starting lineup. What am I thinking? Pretty big. SGA, Pascal, Miles Turner, Lou Dort. Yep. I think I'm going to take Aaron Naismith right there.
Okay.
So that completes my lineup of SGA, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, Lou Dort, and Aaron Naismith.
Okay. I've got Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nemhard, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein. So we'll see.
We'll have to plug that on 2K just see who gets the dub. I like it. There's actually some high quality talent in this series, and it shows how deep both teams are. Because we usually, in our finals, they're running like a 7-man rotation.
Yep.
And it's like, the first 3 players taken are pretty much done and dusted. So it's a deep finals, which I love.
Two great teams.
Copping way too much flack.
Yeah,
it's a good final series we got here.
Speaking of great teams, New York Knicks just sacked their coach.
They did.
Tom Thibodeau, got rid of him. They don't care. Conference finals, first time in 20 years? I don't care.
Threw him to the dogs. They're like, we've had enough of you. We have had enough of you. I think they went in with a plan.
Yeah, I think they did. I think they were expecting to lose to Boston, and they probably just didn't see anything that suggested otherwise to not fire him. Yeah. I think they were going to fire him anyway.
100%.
Which is crazy. Surely if you beat Boston Celtics, who everyone was saying is the best team in the league, and you make it to a conference final in New York, like, bro, he's been one of the most successful New York Knicks coaches of all time, essentially.
Yeah. It's super tough. I think to an extent it's justified by the way of, I feel like watching those playoffs, leaving it, I don't think you saw a whole lot from Thibodeau where it showed that coaching was the reason they got over the hump. However, he's a coach of the year winner. He's put you guys back on the map after quite a few years of being in the dumps as a franchise. But I think there's coaching candidates out there this season that obviously could fancy them a bit.
And we're going to go through them. So these are our top 5 coaching candidates for the New York Knicks job. So Tom Thibodeau's gone. Who we got? One of them, Michael Malone.
Love it.
Fired from Denver. He is this hard-assed, kind of old-fashioned coach.
Yep.
If you're going to compare him, he's actually similar to Tom Thibodeau, but probably on a lesser extent of, he actually gives his bench players a little bit of game time.
I think that's the red flag is when you're up 20 with 3 minutes left and your starting lineup is still in.
Yeah.
That's probably a concerning time.
Yeah,
but probably. I think also someone else who got fired this year from a very good team that he coached for quite a while and took them quite deep into the playoffs is Taylor Jenkins. I think he's a high-quality coach. I was actually raving about him halfway through the season, probably a week before he got fired.
Yeah, so you actually got both of these coaches fired. So the day before Mike Malone got fired, you were raving about him on the pod. Yep. And then day before Taylor Jenkins got fired from the Grizzlies, you were raving about him on the pod. Much, so really, Jenkins the coach's killer.
I'm a coach's killer, and we'd love to see it. So maybe I'm just going to stick away from coaches for the next few years.
But both would be good candidates. Yeah. Both have proven success with other franchises, and they're in the West. Obviously, Mike Malone, championship winning coach. Taylor Jenkins, at best, led his young Memphis Grizzlies team to the 2 seed. Yep. So Mike Malone or Taylor Jenkins would be good candidates.
I like both of them.
We got Dan Hurley, UConn coach. He is how many national championships? He had 2 in a row.
2 in a row at UConn, and then they had a down year this year, but they lost pretty much their entire lineup due to the draft. So he obviously is a genius and put UConn back on the map in college men's basketball.
And he actually interviewed for the Lakers head coaching job a season ago when, right before they hired JJ Redick. So he's obviously there's obviously some level of interest, but he would be perfect for the big market of New York.
He'd fit the mold of New York. He's a psycho. The bloke is a psycho.
Lives and breathes basketball, and he would he'd be a great face of the new kind of New York Knick wave.
Yep.
Leading this Jalen Brunson, leading this team that all played with each other in college.
And that's the thing, because your team is constructed so well in terms of you don't have this big personality, you can go and get a coach like a Dan Hurley or a Malone or a Jenkins that has this big personality and isn't afraid to get up blokes' asses because you don't have this LeBron or something there that's going to kind of argue back on that. So they've kind of got that mold of let's bring in a coach that is willing to really just take it to these blokes and put them to the test. So I like that.
Love it.
Another one I love is another college basketball coach, and actually was the man that coached Villanova to their 2 national championships with Jalen Brunson, Mikal, Dante, and stuff, is Jay Wright. I think there's a lot of talks around him. I think there was a few talks of him not being overly willing to take the job, but still, I think he's a high candidate for it. I think the Knicks will definitely look at that as an opportunity.
So who's he coached?
Villanova. So he coached Villanova when they got their national championships in college. So I think he's a big chance at scoring this job for the Knicks. We'd love to see a little reunion of the Villanova boys.
We love it. And I've actually got another one here. I've got Ime Udoka.
Ooh, right.
So he's currently coaching Houston, but he's coaching the big market. He was Boston's coach. Would there be a chance that the Knicks target him? There is talks that they're interested in him.
Yep.
I think he'd probably stay with Houston. But if you're ever going to move from another conference or if you're just going to move teams, it's to a New York, it's to an LA, it's to a big market. If you want to coach, he'll be coaching already successful, solidified superstars instead of this upcoming Houston team. So fully expect him to stay with Houston and really ride out this this core that they have there with Amen Thompson and Şengün.
Yep.
But could you hop on the Knicks wagon? They've made a conference finals with a coach that apparently they weren't happy with. So Ime Udoka, he's proven to be one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think he's a big one. I think he's a really good coach. And they've also looked to ask interview for Chris Finch and Jason Kidd as well. So stay away from Finchy. Don't be touching my boy Finch. All right. Minnesota, we finally got a good coach. Yeah. Stay away from him. All right. Do not touch him. But Kidd also getting an interview as well, which is interesting. Jason Kidd.
Oh, Jason.
Also, they've asked to interview as well. And I saw something yesterday. I think the Mavs gave them permission to interview Jason Kidd for the head coaching job.
Honestly, if you were Jason Kidd, why would you not take that? And why would you want to stay with Dallas? Yeah. Obviously, they got Cooper Flagg.
Yep.
But who the hell knows what they're going to do with that? I would just have no trust in Dallas Mavericks as an organization.
Just trade to us for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, okay, that's going to happen.
I wouldn't put it past him. No. But yeah, 100%. If there's ever a time to get out of Dallas, it's probably right now. Just because there's so much, I don't know, I feel like as Jason Kidd, you'd feel like you got backstabbed a little bit. In terms of you just got rid of their best player. Yeah. Just a franchise piece. There's a part of you that have to feel hurt by the Dallas Mavericks organization.
Oh, the trust wouldn't be there.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Is that all you got? Is that all the coaching candidates?
That's all the coaching candidates. There's quite a few out there. You never know, Monty Williams might make an appearance again. Had an historic year with the Pistons. He might want to make himself back in New York. But there's a lot of blokes out there. I think in terms of a coaching market, it's never been better right now. I think there's a lot of good coaches out there.
Well, we'll move on to, so obviously Halliburton has surprised everyone by leading this team to the Pacers. And he surprised everyone by how good he is, especially so early. He is, only 4 or 5 years into his career.
Yep.
A lot of teams overlooked him in that 2020 NBA draft. Yeah. So we've actually done the courtesy of going back and redrafting the top 5 picks of that draft.
Yep.
So we're redrafting the 2020 NBA draft, essentially.
Love it.
We've both got different lists. Mm-hmm. This is a stacked draft.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through 5 to 1?
5 to 1? Yeah, 100%. Coming in at number 5, the Cleveland Cavaliers originally selected Isaac Okoro. Now, I believe they would take Denny Advia at number 5. All right, he's had a breakout year this season and has really put himself on the map. He looks like a very polished player this year. Denny Advia would jump to 5 this draft.
Yep, I've actually got Denny Advia as well at 5. Yep.
Do we have the same list?
There is a very likely chance that we have the same list. I had Desmond Bane. So Desmond Bane was in this draft. Desmond Bane, Jaden McDaniels, Aaron Naismith. Those are kind of the other blokes floating, but I have Denny Advia.
100%.
Desmond Bane's for sure shown more across his whole career so far, but Denny Advia, his most recent season with Portland, bro, he's going to be a star.
Well, that's the thing, obviously Desmond shown more, but I think Denny and then Jaden McDaniels was close to making it for me as well because I think the upside of him as well is much higher than Desmond Bane. This guy can't say anything without it being biased.
at all, yeah.
Bro, he's a gun.
He's got better than Desmond Bain.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of a ceiling, he could be.
Okay. How good is this guy going to be? He's not going to be an all-star.
Yeah, but he could be in a lethal.
Like Desmond Bain could be an all-star.
He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, and then this playoffs is the first time we've seen his offense take another jump.
Yeah, but like so
offensively, these playoffs, he was nearly as good as what Desmond Bain is offensively.
He won't be an all-star. Like he won't. He doesn't
Desmond
have that.
Bain going to be an all-star?
He has potential for sure.
He's not going to be an all-star. Desmond Bain's not going to be an all-star.
He could. He's got more potential than Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels has some of the highest potential in the league. Bro, he's a long 3-and-D wing that if he builds up a consistent three-point shot, he's going to be a lethal player.
We saw him in Brooklyn warming up. Man built up house.
Bro, we see him warm up once and he's building a house. The guy has shown that he can turn a game on its head. He's the most impactful player for us.
Turn a game on its head? What are we talking about?
He was the difference maker in that Lakers series.
Oh, my difference maker.
He was knocking down
Ant's
corner
dropping
threes.
40 a game and Jaden McDaniels is the difference maker.
Ant's going to drop 40 a game. Ant's going to do that. Bro, he completely exposed this team. If we didn't have his scoring surge, that's a whole different series.
Bro, I love Jaden McDaniels, but Luka bitched him in last year's playoffs, and he got
everyone.
bitched by SGA. That's 2 years in a row.
Did he bitch him this year?
No, but he got bitched by SGA. So that's 2 years in a row. Conference finals matchups have just bitched this all-time perimeter 3-and-D defender. Like, come on, man.
That's SGA and Luka. That is MVP. Who doesn't get bitched by those blokes? Give me one name who doesn't get bitched by those blokes.
It doesn't matter. You're just saying
doesn't get bitched by those blokes.
You're just saying that Jaden McDaniels has got this potential. It's like, bro,
he does.
Both years he has been bitched and single-handedly lost his matchup.
Against two MVP candidates.
That's like
SGA is probably going to win Finals MVP and the MVP this year.
When you throw around stuff like, he's got like some of the biggest potential in the league, it's like, bro,
he's some of the highest potential in the league.
Yeah, well, 2 years in a row, his elite 3-and-D defending has cost the Timberwolves.
Oh my God. It also got us past the Lakers. It got us past the Warriors. It got us past Denver last year. It got us past Phoenix in terms of KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal last year.
Obviously, he's a good player. But, it got you past the Warriors against what? Who?
You still have to win.
36-year-old Jimmy Butler.
You still have to win.
That
wasn't
Jaden McDaniels, bro.
We still have to win that. And his scoring took a surge these playoffs.
I'm just saying, I would take Desmond Bain over Jaden McDaniels.
Long term, I'm taking Jaden. If you can pick one to have on your team, I'm taking Jaden.
No chance. No chance.
What do you get out of Desmond Bain? Empty stats. Just empty stats.
He's one of the best shooters in the league.
Okay, cool. What did he do this year?
And he was built like a brick shithouse, bro.
Good on him. Good on him. Can he defend? Are you going to go plug him on anyway?
He's not terrible. But Jaden, his defense isn't insane that it's just like...
It is, though. He is a clamp god. It's obviously just matchup-wise. Obviously, a bigger body in Luka. He's going to be able to push him around. But you look at someone against KD. He put the clamps on KD. He literally put the clamps on him. It's obviously matchup-based, and SGA was a tough task. But SGA is a tough task for anyone. No one's putting the clamps on SGA. He just had back-to-back 35-point bombs against the Indiana Pacers.
Put Jaden McDaniels' brother on the Timberwolves. It's the same thing.
Holy shit. Holy crap. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I've had enough of this.
Jaden McDaniels is the NBA version of Angel Reese.
That's criminal. I'm done. I can't with this.
That is so good.
I'm done. I'm getting rage baited out of here.
Balling out for Timberwolves, and then you got Jaden McDaniels. I want people to know. People don't just watch Timberwolves because of Ant. It's because of me too.
Bro,
Jaden McDaniels.
That is ridiculous. I'm getting rage baited out of here. That is ridiculous, lads. I've had enough.
All right, well, should we move past the fifth pick? Fourth pick. Who goes the fourth?
Fourth pick, I think this could be controversial, but I have the Chicago Bulls, who originally picked Patrick Williams at number 4, taking a much better player right now, is LaMelo Ball. I think he falls from the 3rd pick to the 4th pick, and the Bulls find themselves with LaMelo Ball at 4.
Yeah, I actually did the exact same thing. LaMelo Ball at 4. I definitely think we have the same list. But LaMelo Ball at 4 for sure. Pat Will, probably not the guy we wanted to go with.
No.
Fair to say he's a bust who we're paying $90 million. So that's great.
That's awesome.
In great shape. But LaMelo Ball for sure at 4.
100%. Coming in number 3 originally, the Hornets picked LaMelo Ball. They are now taking Tyrese Maxey. So I think that's a bit controversial, but I think in terms of health, in terms of production, in terms of, I find LaMelo has a few empty stats here and there. Tyrese Maxey's a better player, and I think he can be a winning player. LaMelo Ball, I don't know, he's flashy. He does all these nice things. can't defend. I don't think he could defend us. I don't think he could defend Jeffy Boy. Like, it's insane. So I think Tyrese Maxey actually has that higher ceiling than what LaMelo Ball does. I'd take Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, number 3, I got Tyrese Maxey as well.
Yep.
Considering he was a late first round pick. So the expectation wasn't there like LaMelo has had. But in terms of staying healthy, obviously Tyrese has also had his injury issues. But the production he's had on a team that has had Embiid, has had Simmons, has had Tobias Harris, has had Paul George, like his offense is crazy. And LaMelo Ball, there's kind of an empty stat vibe to it. And he could drop you a 40-point triple-double and the Hornets lose by 30.
He's yet to put a season together of staying healthy. He can't stay healthy, which is obviously out of his control. And like, that's not his fault. But when you're talking about taking someone who you're building your franchise around, you want someone who can stay on the court for years.
True.
He's shown that he can't do that yet. It's similar with like a Zion and stuff. You want